St. Louis as an opponent again here. How do you plan to handle this week and a fifth matchup with them this season?
Playing a team 5 times in one season, let alone 5 times. I think we played them, at the end of July, but have had 3 more recent games against them. It's something that I've never done before. I asked the guys in the locker room if they've ever played a team 5 times in a season, and they, said no as well. So in this case, we felt like we played St. Louis twice in kind of playoff situations because they needed, or we or they needed to get points out of those games. And specifically the last time at St. Louis, we really felt, and they felt, like they had to win or get a point. We needed to win or get a point to secure first place in our group. So it was almost like a playoff game, and you saw that intensity right from the start all the way through the final whistle. I think it's going to be the same on Saturday night here. You're going to have a St. Louis team which is highly motivated, doesn't want to end their club, and they have a bunch of guys that I know really well. The character of that team is epitomized by their captain, Sam Fink, player I know really well, coached by Steve Tritchu, does a wonderful job with them. They try to play. They definitely are a tough team to play against, put you under a lot of pressure. So it's going to be an interesting contest, needless to say. But this is a conference semifinal, and we feel good about the way we're playing and in the form we're in particular playing here at Lynn Family.
John, do you see it as an advantage or disadvantage at all to play a team that many times because you've seen pretty much all that they bring to the table?
Yeah, I would say it's a disadvantage at this point because we know each other so well, and we have had more success than they have had, but it's been really close. I mean, the game where we ended up drawing 1-1 with them at St. Louis, they were the better team, hands down. The game we won there, I thought they were better than us at times during that game. So I think they'll have the feeling that they are as good and can come here. Last time we played them here, if I'm correct, we won 3-0, and it was really 2-0 until late. But I thought we were, the better team in that game. And when we lost to them the first time, I thought we were the better team in that game. So it's probably in our 4 meetings so far been split, but it's definitely not an advantage at this point. Unless one of us can throw something at the other one that will, unbalance them. And I don't think we have any tricks left up either of our sleeves. I think St. Louis knows their best lineup, their best formation. I think we do too. Maybe we have a little bit more flexibility in that regard, but it's definitely going to be an interesting case of 2 teams that know each other really well, and really just competing and trying to execute.
I guess to build off that for this team, I mean, obviously there's plenty of reason to have motivation there because it's still playoffs. You want to try to make that run. But because another hungry team is coming in, is it easy to kind of keep that going for this group?
I mean, I think this group showed on Saturday night against Pittsburgh that we were willing to battle and fight and compete, and at times it takes away from the attractive football that we want to play, but that's okay, and you have to do that at this time of year. So we know what it takes to get there. We know that St. Louis is going to give us another hard battle, and I think if we understand that and then are able to execute at a little higher level than we did on Saturday, I like our chances.
I think it was from Mike Watts who pointed out today that you have the longest winning streak and the longest unbeaten streak of any team in American professional soccer right now. Where does that leave you as a coach? Continuing to push guys.
It just pisses me off because that means Mike Watts is trying to jinx me and our team. It's a nice compliment, and I think our players and our staff deserve credit because in this sport in particular, it's not easy to go on the streak that we're on right now. It's just not that kind of sport, and we've had, if you think about it, we've been playing the St. Louis's of the world and the Indies of the world and Pittsburgh. And I mean, these are really hard games. It looks now like Pittsburgh, Indy, St. Louis, for sure in the northeast side of this bracket were the four best teams. And so we haven't had easy games either, is my whole point on that. And that's a nice compliment. But all of that doesn't mean anything. You know, we have the potential to play 3 more games. This is a new season for us, and that's all we're focused on. You know, we know that if we don't do our job on Saturday night, none of that matters. And so we can only think about this next game, and if we take care of business, then we have 2 games left. And that's our objective.
You guys were able to score pretty early last game. I mean, how much, I guess, what positive momentum does that create to just be able to get out to an early start, especially when you're at home and you have to drive the 100 back?
It's really important for those reasons, but probably more importantly against a team like Pittsburgh, that you can unlock them. And now they have to come out and play a little bit more. And I think for them, the longer they could have kept us off the scoreboard, it would have been an advantage for them. And I think you're going to see the same thing against St. Louis, that, you know, they're not going to want to give anything up. Either are we. You know, we're probably more of an attacking type team, although I think they do a good job of that. But getting an early goal, it does. It makes your life easier because it opens up the game. And our whole, you know, style and our plan when we play is to try to create space. And once we create it, we try to attack it.
Kind of going off of that on the attacking end, there's been times where, you know, obviously needed the goals, you got those, but there's certain times where opportunities open up, and for whatever reason, maybe the pass is just a little bit off, or when they're close too quickly, the shot just doesn't materialize. Is that a concern for you all as you all move deeper into the playoffs, or do you trust your offense to be there when you all need it to be?
When you look at our body of work over this, you know, since the start of August, I would say that we have balanced those 2 things out really well. When we didn't, you know, finish the goal that we were supposed to, we defended like, you know, warriors, and we didn't let our opponent have an opportunity. We did that on Saturday against Pittsburgh. I mean, Antoine Hopino knows that if he just hits that ball with a little less pace, Brian Ownby taps it into an empty net. And that is unfortunate. You know, Canton has a great chance to get saved. You know, Ownby had another really good chance that the keeper saved. And those sometimes can come back to haunt you. But, and I didn't realize this, you know, post-game when I watched the game back several times yesterday, I was really impressed with the way we defended. We didn't give Pittsburgh very many chances. And so my point to answering your whole question is, like, you want to finish those chances, but in this sport, it's difficult. And so to counterbalance that, you got to play really good team defense. And we did a great job of that on Saturday. We're going to need to do that on Saturday night versus St. Louis, and hopefully we can execute a little higher level. And if we do that, you know, we probably would have been up by 2 or 3 goals in the first half versus 1-0.
Kind of going off that, you know, Ben Lunt, I think he leads the league right now in clean sheets. Doing a really good job protecting the net for you all, you know, this season. What have you kind of seen from him, and what has allowed him to be as effective as he's been, you know, covering the net for you all?
I mean, I think Ben's an outstanding goalkeeper, and he really had to make one key save, and it was early, and he did it, and that was huge for us. But then he did more than that. You know, goalkeeping, especially the way we play, is about distribution, decision making, playing with your feet, and the way we play out of the back. You know, he had 2 passes that were in a sequence where players are playing him the ball back, and he's got to hit a really good pass with his feet under pressure, and felt really good about that part of Ben's game. Overall, happy that he's gotten 8 clean sheets. That means he's providing a lot of bagels in the morning for the locker room, which is always nice. And I helped him out on one of those occasions, by the way. But happy for him. It also really means that we're defending as a group really well, and I think that's the bigger picture, is that, you know, again, I go back to watching that game, and our group defending, you know, the commitment from Cam all the way to Ben was excellent.
What's the rivalry with St. Louis meant to you?
I mean, I held up that King's Cup at the end of the game, and I thought, okay, this is the last time we're having this, and all of a sudden, here we go again. Part of me honestly thought, hey, this is not the end, because if they get in the playoffs, I could see them easily winning that first round game, which meant we would play this game. And lo and behold, that's happened. It's been a really good rivalry, especially between the fan bases. I think the fan bases respect each other a lot, have had a lot of fun tailgating and sharing in some camaraderie between the two, and then the normal trash talking that you see going on. But a lot of respect between the two clubs, and a really good rivalry for our league. Sad to see that going away, and again, we thought we played that last rivalry game, and we haven't.